I'm Jimbo and welcome back. I've had this Kymron machine for about 13 months now, and last fall I was digging out a bunch of stumps in this very grove. There were some suggestions on that, and one of them was possibly to try dropping a tree so that the weight of the tree pulls the stump out on its own. And I haven't done that yet, and that's what I'm going to test today. And I've got a pretty decent tree here, and I am very late on getting all my firewood for the hog house. And if you don't know what the hog house is, you can check out some of the other playlists. But this thing has been standing dead without bark for a long time, so it's ready to burn. And right now it's the middle of November here in South Dakota, and I need about 4 times as much wood as what I've got split. So got a friend, Brett, coming tomorrow to help me cut this up and split it, but I want to drop it. But I didn't want to just saw it down and then dig the root out. I've done that a bunch, and it's a fairly sizable root ball that we would have here. So I'm going to go ahead and test this. That way is north, east, west. So what I'm going to do is dig a little bit on the south, a little bit on the north, and a little bit on the west. And then what I'm going to do is I'll move the machine over and dig a lot on the east. And the weight seems like it wants to go this way anyway, because the tree kind of tips that way some. I don't want it to fall into these other trees behind me. So I want it to be able to hit the ground and be clear of everything, and then I can just start chopping it up with the chainsaw. So I don't remember who it was that made that suggestion. It was probably more than one person, but I'm just going to go ahead and get to work here. I have maybe 2.5 to 3 hours of daylight here, and we're going to see what we can get done. As it goes on, let me know. What do you think? Is this a better way to do it? A worse way to do it? Dangerous way to do it? Safer way to do it? Let's figure it out.
Let's do this.
I wanted to show you this portion in real time. All I've done is dig out stumps up to this point, so you dig for quite a while before you even start pushing on anything to see if it will give at all. And with this tree and all that weight above it, I pushed one time prior to this and it didn't move much, so I kept digging. But then to my surprise, the second time I started pushing, there was movement. So I got a little bit excited about that, and you can see that dirt pile to my right. I should have had the foresight to push that more out of the way before I kept pushing more, because you can see I'm a little close to trees on the direction that that thing will fall. And here you can see I'm looking up because I can't see past that roof, so just a little bit of paranoia might be setting in. Now there's two things I should have done here. I mentioned one was moving that dirt pile out of the way so I could get farther to the right. But the other one is I should have spun the cab around and get the base. Right now I'm driving the tracks backwards, which puts the back of the tracks forward farther. Now when you drop the blade in the back, that's good for digging. But I should have backed up, spun the cab, turned the whole machine around so the blade is up front and the extra track was in the back, and it wouldn't rotate me up quite as much as what it's doing right now when I'm pushing with the machine, but it still worked.
Man,
Two movie quotes come to mind. One is, "I'm not a smart man," and the other one is, "Gosh, idiot!" Who can tell me what those movies are? I did better on the second one for sure. That is not what I had planned. There's two trees holding it up, but I'll tell you what, I think my experience here of digging stumps out versus doing a tree like this, I don't know, man, it was a little bit dicey. And you couldn't see what I was seeing down there, but I could see the dirt was cracking underneath just a little bit as I started pushing. But you don't want to get a rocking motion because, you know, way up top there, branches can rock too much. They can break, fall off on you. Worst thing would be the whole dang thing start coming back towards you. You wouldn't be able to get out of the way with that thing near fast enough. But I had a huge hole dug on that east side, so I don't think there's any way it could have come the other way, because I did just a little bit of digging on the west side. But I'll tell you what, that kind of had the hair raised on the back of my neck a little bit when I would be pushing, and I'd come back a little bit and I'd see that crack come back. And the crack I'm talking about is that dirt that's almost like concrete that's right directly below a tree. I mean, it's been compacted for who knows how long. And sometimes there's a taproot that goes down there too that holds it even more. But I was kind of surprised that it actually started moving a little bit. So I was pushing out, and like I said, I wasn't real comfortable, but I was trying to put more just steady pressure on, and then when I went to let back, it was gradual. But I'll tell you, you can tell by the way I'm talking here, I was a little bit frazzled with that. Not sure if I'll do that again. I knew the tree had weight hanging that way, and I wouldn't do it with a tree that's, you know, symmetrical all the way around. And I don't know, I'm rambling again, but yeah, we're gonna have to try to pull that thing down. Maybe we'll cut the two trees that it's hanging on, but that'll be a little bit dicey too. But anyway, we want to do things safe. Brett will get here tomorrow and we'll just see what we do then. So there's my test. Not sure if I'll do it again. Well, I've had a few minutes to calm my nerves there. It's a little bit exciting, at least on my end there, because I just couldn't see past that roof that was over my head. But like I said, I was checking for rocking of the tree, and it seemed all right, but still was a little bit hair raising for the first one. But I did walk around here and find one that I might do. See how that baby's leaning? Really leaning way out there. Absolutely no chance of that thing falling except for one direction. So I'm not sure if it'll be this fall here yet or not, but that one there, I'd probably go ahead and dig that one and give her a shot. And that's actually, I'm going to show you this tree right here. This was a huge cottonwood, and that baby just slowly bent over. I don't know if it took over a year, but you can see I've trimmed everything off of this thing. But I'll tell you what, you know, they talk about trees being widowmakers and having a lot of kinetic energy built up in them. And just look at how that thing bowed, twisted, chipped out. It was just quite the amazing tree to see. And so I was very careful. I think it was last year, and I just took a whole bunch of this stuff off. And so now it's just hanging there. It's kind of touching that one tree right there. But yeah, not exactly sure how I'm going to take that one down, but it's a lot less dangerous now with all that weight off the top of it. So it's just basically an arch. So that was my excitement for the afternoon. I worked on the house in the morning and up till about almost 2 o'clock. And so I am going to grab that side-by-side over there with the tools, going to head on in, get a little supper, and just relax for a while. So thanks for watching.